NL MVP is saying, hey, guys, it was no fluke. All right.
No
I
fluke.
mean, this past week, he was the NL Player of the Week in large part because of the great series that he had in 3 games against the Dodgers. He missed that 4th game. But here's what he's done here for 2022. And Cliff, when you talk about just the National League, this guy, he's used to getting off to fast starts, and he's doing what he normally does.
And he's dangerous. And, you know, the one thing I look at is, I know he got the shot.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. But
I
I just want y'all to look at what he's done since June of last year and why he has to be in the lineup. And we're thinking about, you know, the elbow, then you think about some of the things. But just look at these numbers from last year, June 20th. This is when he gets hot. This is unreal, off the charts, game-changing. Put the whole team on his back, and he'll take it to the promised land. That's why he's needed in the line.
All right, well, let's show you a tweet here from Matt Brain, who covers the team for the Philadelphia Inquirer. And he says, hey, Bryce Harper is out of tonight's lineup against the Padres after receiving a PRP injection Sunday in L.A. He said he could also miss tomorrow's game, but is hopeful to be back by Thursday. Now, here is Harper now on how things are going.
I don't think I'm going to really feel an improvement for about 7 to 10 days or so. I think the biggest thing is I can hit as of right now, so we're going to take our time with it, make sure, you know, it heals properly and it, you know, hopefully takes. And, you know, like I said, we're a little bit away from, you know, playing. We're a little bit away from, you know, being where we can be out there playing right field and throwing a baseball, you know, the right way, the way that I want to. Kind of went through the same thing, kind of, you know, with Ohtani, you know, being able to DH and, you know, play through kind of, you know, what he was. So I'm very lucky that it's not my left arm. I don't feel it when I hit, so I'm very lucky with that.
All right, so Bryce Harper basically, since he's had he's got a small tear in his UCL, and he is basically DH for close to 30 games. So they were in L.A. Dr. Neil Alitranche is one of the top surgeons in not only just baseball but sports. So they met with him Sunday morning. They came to this determination that they were gonna go for this PRP injection just to see if it works. And basically, you're drawing out your own blood and then putting it back in the same area to see it helps the healing process quicker because it's your own blood. And that might not work. And we don't know how large the tear is, if it's small, how small the tear is. But the bottom line is they're trying to come to some kind of consensus to see if they can get him back out there in the outfield, because otherwise he will be limited to the DHing role, which would basically mean that Nick Castellanos and Kyle Schwarber will have to play in right and left field respectively for the rest of the season.
Fine.
So what are your thoughts on Harper getting the PRP injection now?
I would have been fighting it if I'm that hot. That's what I would say. I'd be fighting it because when he gets hot, it's like they're 1 game under 500 right now. He can take you to that next level. He can take you and win you ball games as he did, you know, in the 3 games they won in Dodger Stadium. As far as the glove, real quick, I'm throwing the trash for about 4 months. Right. So he won't throw again.
Yes, he will not. He will not throw for the next month or so. Yes.
I'm talking the whole year. That's how I feel about it. When you talk about how unbelievable he is in the box when he gets hot, he won't see the field again. If you want to say unfortunate for the guys that have to play and they might not be sure-handed, they still have pop and they still gonna win your ball games with the bat. I'm saying this is what I need consistently. So I don't even care about the glove. You better be lucky and fortunate that you have the DH in the National League now. That's what you're fortunate for, and it's a luxury that you have. So when he's hot, man, it is unbelievable to watch him hit in that box. It's unbelievable to see him play the game the way he played it this past weekend. And when you talk about the glove, and I want them to tell him there's no glove.
Right, but even if part of the reason, yes, they want him in the right field. You're saying he doesn't need to be in the right field, but I guarantee you, Schwarber and Castellanos, they want to be able to DH too. I mean, so no. I don't know if they want to be out there every day in the outfield.
Sometimes you don't get that
choice, right?
Right. So to me, that's what it boils down to. I need Harper hitting.
Yeah, I get it. Castellanos, the last, he's not been great, and his defensive metrics in right field are some of the worst in the game. That doesn't mean he can't get better, and that's a challenge to Nick to be right now. This is a situation you're going to have to get better, but this board, Bryce didn't grade out exceptionally well either, but compared to Castellanos, he's a Gold Glover.
You know what, to say to this DRS and say to some of these guys that's in the outfield with all this shifting and moving around and reading cards, you know what, I wasn't gifted as an outfielder, but I played straight up, meaning that I played that give me a chance to catch a ball to my right a few steps and a ball to my left a few steps. That's it. I don't need you doing anything spectacular. So I just want you to catch the ball to your left.
And both those outfielders can do that.
And that's it. So it's as far as moving these guys around so much with the shift, how about you just leave them alone and put them in a
Yeah, I will tell you guys, from a
GM
GM perspective, the injury thing with players, man, that's a Pandora's box. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive with your thoughts because it's a player's career.
Right.
So you talk to the player themselves, the advisor, and you have opinions, but you're constantly kind of walking this fine line. You kind of know what you feel like is the best interest for the club, but you also know what's, you know, the best interest for the players. We have no context, as you talked about, to the extent I have found with PRPs, it takes a long time.
Right.
And the timing of this is unusual for me because if you're going to do a PRP injection, then you really shouldn't be doing any activities. I realize that he doesn't feel it hitting, but you're still doing physical things, and you're affecting that area that you're trying to let heal. I think the reality of the situation is he's probably going to end up DHing the rest of the year, so then you've got to figure out, okay, how do we work around this? Because he is by far our aircraft carrier in the middle of our lineup.
Yeah, so Schwarber, Herrera, and Castellanos, that'll probably be your starting lineup the rest of the way. For the Phillies, if Bryce can't get back out there, if he can't, the elbow doesn't heal.